Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and Black Ice version 10.33 and the Japan campaign. And where we left off, we were fighting a pretty decent opening salvo against the Japanese, with whom we are doing extremely well. We are beating back the Chinese with pretty much all easiness, to be honest. It's kind of embarrassing at the moment, but things could still go wrong quick. So there is some work that we do need to do. Speaking of work that we need to do, it looks like we're sorting out some of the encirclements, and we do have the ability to expand. There we go, Manjiang or Manjing, which is what we shall do. And speaking of which, it looks like, yep, we can, I think, fold our troops down. Yeah, the infrastructure's not great around here, and I don't think they can get through. So we're gonna, I think, fold in like this and just try and get straight across. And hopefully we can catch the communists with their pants down a little bit, and quickly rush to knock out at least the capital areas, but maybe even down into Xizang down there. Let's finish off that unit if we can, and let's move up our HQ groups. And the main reason we're doing this is just to keep those lines of communication going. Same thing over here. And same thing over here. Right, perfect. Good news so far. So far, so relatively good. And we're still fighting that slight little battle down there. And it looks to me like, yep, we've broken that unit. I wonder, can we get a bit of ground attack going over here? No, there isn't anything in there. Okay. We are holding a bit of a defensive position over here. And, oh, there we go. Very good indeed. Now the question is, can you guys break through with a little bit of support? I would imagine that you probably can. Because we want to try and free up a fair amount of units for use over here rather than getting them all bulked up in this direction. But knocking the communists out of the war quickly, that would be ideal. And speaking of which, let's get these guys on the move in this direction. We're going to try to break over the river, get to communist heartland ASAP. And these battles look like we're struggling a little bit. But we're not really losing much by the way of organisation, so we're keeping a pretty sizable number of troops just locked down, while beating back this unit, and we do have supply, so yeah, not too bad. And hopefully we'll win these battles against these garrison units and finish them off. Ooh, twin engine fighter prototype thingy-mabobby. So the first episode of this series will be going up, I think, today, as of when I'm recording this one. So I do hope you like it. It's been sort of immediately jumping into the action, so to speak. And you know what? Let's move them back down, but keep the carriers fairly high in all this. I don't mind if our planes are going to be a little bit delayed. It's nothing to worry about. It looks like we have caught some units and things. I'm going to send these guys, I think, in this direction for a push in this way. Because that's where the planes are, where the cav will probably be at their best. And we've got, you know, a decent whack of units anyway around here. And let's go cause some problems in the capital of communist China. I'm not sure how many victory provinces will count. Like, I don't know whether or not these will count. I can assume that they will. But even taking their capital would be a pretty major blow. Especially breaking over the river this early on. But they've got a pretty built-up defensive position in the mountains. And you might hear the nice sound of some British wind and rain. It's a pretty grotty day at the moment in the UK. So you probably will hear that going on in the background. Let's hit them there. Let's hit them there. And can we strike over the river against that Guangxi click unit? Probably. Just waiting for these guys to sort their supply out. And you know what? We can counter-attack here now. We are definitely going to break out. Medicine. 41. Perfect. Great War Analysis. Yeah, we'll let that roll. And I think I saw in armament. Yeah, these are 38. I'm not going to worry about them at the moment. We're going to try and keep our techs fairly level. Because there's a few naval techs that I would like to get ahead on. Specifically some carrier type ones. And we're definitely going to beat back the second army there. That's pretty awesome news. Looks like we're forming our new river position quite nicely. Yeah, we've broken that unit. Yeah, about 100 hours. This is a long turnaround time, unfortunately. I would ask for assistance from these guys, but I think they'll just bottleneck the supply, so yeah, I'm not that bothered about that. And we've nearly reached our cut-off Marines that have been fighting for what feels like probably an age for them. And I think we're going to seal this gap now. Got about, 60 odd hours until we can get involved there. This battle is really not going well. Part of it's because half of the Chinese army has just turned up here. And decided that Shanghai is a great time to visit, or a great place to visit this time of year. I'm thinking some sort of, as I say, grand encirclement, like, that follows this sort of path and pushes all the way down the river following up to Nanking would be best to try and get all of these units pocketed. But it could be quite the ask. That's the only problem of our divisions. But we got a few motorized units that are ready to, jump across the river. Let's see what they can do to achieve that aim. Yeah, and some decent tech, really, sorting ourselves out there. Yes, and speaking of which, ideally we need to free up some units here as well, like Let's see if you can't sort out that. Well, it looks like you already are sorting out, but yeah, let's get you involved to handle that business. It's only a single partisan division. I mean, could not worry about it because we've got enough units heading in that direction. Let's break him free and then reallocate Mr. Utois onwards. I think I said that a bit French. Imagine that's not the correct pronunciation. But broken through definitely into communist territory. That is good. As I say, if we can knock them out, then suddenly this bit opens up, which is kind of good, really. We could do with that. Let's get the cavalry over the river, and then let's support attack here. See how many divisions are in here. Quite a few, but they're weak, and our cavalry can outflank them. Okay, and then let's keep on heading on down. We've only got a couple of militia divisions in here at the moment, so in principle, might have enough to take this. If not, we can at least surround it. And another victory against the Chinese Navy. Rio got a couple of kills, very nice. And Zvao as well, very good, well done. Any kills for you? Nope. What about the destroyers? No, it looks like the carriers definitely handled business by themselves. Nagato and Mutsu. Nagato got a kill. Fuzo, yeah, you managed to get a kill as well. Nope. Yeah, the mega battle here. Yeah, not many kills with these guys, but a couple. Look, every bit of experience helps, and I just like checking the naval kills because, you know, right now it's looking like we're not going to lose a single ship. And we'll have taken out, like, the entire Chinese Navy. Which, while not being that great, is still, you know, without any losses, it's good. Oh, actually, we might have lost one destroyer. I think I remember losing a destroyer somewhere. Can't remember where, but I do remember it happening. Can you support attack, please? Thank you. Yeah, and as you can see, we've definitely got a river position laid out. We just need to close this up. Speaking of which, when can you jump in? Now. Yeah, there's a concentration of force now. Speaking of which, ooh, there we go. That's done it. That's kick the bucket with them. 38. Yeah, we don't want to be doing you. Same here. I'm not worried about that. So I think we're back around again now. Yeah, onto our escorts and things. So we've already got that going. Cruiser. A couple of minor things here, maybe. Yep, the fire control computer. We'll take that. Yeah, we can get capital ship main armament. What's nearly running out? Supplies. Okay. Wasn't what I was expecting. How much more can we... not much more. Okay. There we go. Victory. Okay, so that's good. That'll allow us to break through over here. And then we can begin our march onwards. Let's see if the Cav can't outpace them. Ooh, there's a chance. Ooh. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was a bit of a reckoning there for that group. It's a shame I can't take this town, because then we would trap them in there. But we have learned something rather important. We can get across the river as we wish. And we can beat militia in fortified positions, definitely. 16 hours. So far, infantry is fighting sort of as I wanted it to. And speaking of infantry and things that we want to keep fighting, yeah, you guys, we need you to, I think, head this direction. Because it looks to me like the communists might fold a little bit. But we'll send one extra division in that direction. But yeah, the rest of you, let's keep you sort of heading out. Like so. Yeah, we're definitely winning there. We just don't quite have the strength to push over the river at the moment. But we're still keeping this area locked down. And it looks like we are going to take Shanghai. Which had another 10 divisions. Do have that Marine division. Forgot about them. Yeah, let's give you a decent enough commander. The Kiribati Maru. Star Trek reference. It's not the exact spelling, but bite me. And we can provide a little bit of air support as well. That will be pretty massive. And wowza, there we go. Mission accomplished. And I imagine we're going to take Qingdao relatively quickly. And we'll let our infantry tanks and things move in to finish off these guys. And most torpedo boat. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, they really are keeping this locked down, aren't they? I mean, when the time comes, we can probably rebase to here and then lock down this whole little bit of peninsula and lock all these units down along with it. Really annoys me how effective the Allies are being to Japan here compared to what I had to put up with, which was quite frankly ridiculously irritating bullshit. Break over the river? Yeah, why not? And you ain't reinforcing. Well, it looks like you are, but you broke immediately. That militia unit is taking an absolute pounding. I don't know if the Japanese ever took this area of China. In real life, I'm not really sure. I don't think they did. I mean, I could be talking out the back of my rectum there. I may have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. This, though, looks like a prime opportunity to do something along these lines. Could catch a couple of units with their hand, with the pants down here. And he looks like a decent commander. And bearing in mind we've got some troops that are about to be freed up, a whole 5 Marine divisions, that, to be honest, part of me is thinking a landing like another landing might not be the worst idea. Like, you know, maybe some extra troops around here. Could be an option. Could definitely be an option. We're attacking them from all sides with marine units. And definitely beating them back as well. Just waiting 19-ish hours for him to get involved. And our upgrades queue is rapidly going down. We are making progress on that. And production-wise, we're making some progress. So, I think... What do these units need? Oh, there is a little battle going on here. That's just a minor one. So... 4 light cruisers in that group. 2 heavy cruisers there. Along with another 3 light cruisers. And then another 4. So we need 8 light cruisers minimum. With a further 3 light cruisers. And a couple of heavy cruisers. 2 of them. Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay, that's good. So those are my carrier groups that I'm trying to sort out there. And speaking of issues, it looks like intelligence-wise we've got a couple of problems. Let's take off... We don't need to keep funneling points into you two. I think, to be honest, we can probably hold off on the Guangxi clique. And probably the People's Republic of China as well. And probably Germany we don't need to worry about. And then everyone else will keep going. That should help with the old issues that we had with spies there. That I've just encountered. Now hopefully we'll overrun these units. That's what I'm hoping to do. And we are making pretty solid progress into Yunnan here. Very solid progress. Oh, we had a break there. Got the opportunity though to really drive this hammer home. And I am not going to give up on that opportunity. You know, they can try with their Soviet equipment to attempt a breakout, but it ain't happening. And speaking of tanks, bingo. Okay, let's break in here. Thank you. And then really I'm just waiting on some infantry and things from over here to finish up business. Speaking of which, thank you, and then I think the same thing over here, thank you. Want to speed this battle along a little bit. And then I think attempt a landing at this province here. Because all I need to do is hold for a single turn-ish, is how I would describe it. I mean, right now we're holding down literally, how many units is that? Nearly 30 odd units. Yeah, 30 odd units just with a couple of divisions. They've got a lot of garrisons. A lot of garrisons. It's obviously where they decided to put their influence. Good old garrison units, but they are spread ridiculously thin up here. You know, our little push that I'm going to do from the north is going to... we're going to push out like this, and we're going to connect the dots and capture as many units as we can. And speaking of which, infantry coming online. And I'm actually going to pull this unit out and send them down here because they're going to aid in this movement. So I think we're going to be on time for December because this month has gone pretty well as well, and we took Yuan, but unfortunately that hasn't capitulated them. Oh well, you win some, you lose some, and we can still keep pushing into communist territory. This province might be a bit of a tough nut to crack. It is into mountains, but hopefully we'll be okay. I think a little spot of trying to break over the river here would be nice. And yeah, Operation Fuck 'em Up is a go-go, that's for sure. We've got more than enough units, I think, to connect the dots here. One, two. Well, let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that should be fine. It might be a bit patchwork in places, but should be enough, especially with extra infantry and things that will be freed up from around here. And then with the landing at Nantong. The other option would be a landing down here just to fuck with them, but no, I think I prefer this. This is a better idea, in my humble opinion. Nope. Come on. Off you go. I don't really care if we hold a static like defense everywhere else to accommodate this. Like, that's not a problem, because if we capture all of the units like in here, then it'll more than make up for it. And taking Shanghai is a bit of a result. We can reinforce it. You know what? We'll take the Marine divisions and actually reinforce it around Shanghai. We'll let them finish the Battle of Qingdao and secure that little area of the peninsula for us. And probably the last of their major ports. I mean, I guess Xenamen and Fuzhou are quite big as well, but not, I don't think, to the same scale. And we want to keep protecting our flanks. I'm just waiting for you to get involved. Everyone's getting decent amounts of experience as well, including good old Yamashita here, who is ranking up quite nicely. Yeah, and we're all breaking through. By the time they realise what's going on, it'll be too late. So while we're going to have a botched naval landing elsewhere, everything else is going to be coming up Millhouse. Ooh. Yeah, I think we're holding this line. Come on. Let's trick them into a false sense of security now. Let's not, you know, get too cocky. Although that logistics tech is a good one. Yeah, we're going to let that go. And we're going to let that run as well. We're back around to capital and get HE ammunition and things. I mean, I'm not sure when we get access to the Yamamoto and things in relation to... I think it's an event when you play as Japan, if I remember correctly. So that's at least good. We're going to get that out of this. And you know what? We're going to break with that division. Yes, yes, yes. Let's keep our flanks secure. Because it's mainly the Nanking pocket. That's what this is going to be called. When historians look back on this, the Great Pocket of Nanking shall be its name. And it shall be made up of the last major units of the Japanese, or sorry, the Chinese army. Like the Qingdao pocket, which we're about to liquidate. Okay, can we leave a single unit like... Yeah, let's just leave you. You'll be fine to guard our flanks. And then I think everyone else is just going to go straight for it. So you're going to go to there. Yeah, you're going to go to there. You're going to push up with that one. I think, yeah, the same thing is going to be said of you. We don't have our fastest forces to pull this off, but, I mean, 4 kilometers per hour in this sort of terrain isn't that bad. I'll take that. Yeah, and I think the Marines' next target is going to be down here, because they can push and just consolidate a little gap round here, and then that will allow our forces to link up effectively. Yeah, you, on the other hand, you need to push up as well. Oh, that one's out of line. Yeah, something like that. Could do with another unit really here. Let's break this. It'll be a major defeat, but oh well. And then let's take you and literally rebase all of these divisions into here. There we go. Yeah, and on land, it actually does a better job. And then we can take all the Marines, like so, and get them into position. This is going to be one hell of a encirclement if this comes off. And we are letting our cavalry lead the way. Cav encirclements. I don't know how many of those I've ever accomplished, but this will be an interesting one if I can manage it. And yeah, I think we're going to pick up these marine divisions that have a lot of experience now. They have been fighting a pretty horrific battle in that pocket, like non-stop. So good on them. You did well. Yeah, we've got a little bit more leadership. Really building up the leadership. And I don't think I'm gonna worry about doing that at the moment. There will be other times, I'm sure, where that might be more of a pressing issue, but at the moment, not worried. Yeah, and Mao Zedong, aha! The man himself. He's gonna be Zedonging his life out of here in a minute. And we're going to keep the push into Communist China going. Want to knock them out. Really want to knock Communist China out. So, you know, we're going to spread our 5 units out and we're going to just push for their mountain territories and get them out of the war ASAP. Speaking of which, are you in the war? Yep, you are. Okay. Fine, fine. And let's keep that encirclement going. And I think let's pick up these guys. They can attack again in 6 hours. Let's just wait for them to finish that timer. And then I think we're going to drop a save. Let's wait for that timer to finish. And then let's jump on in. And I think we're going to try and take this area here. Now, we have nothing to worry about the Japanese, or sorry, the Chinese Navy now. It's completely ruined. So that is at least good. We don't have to worry about being pushed back either now, I don't think. And there we go, a major victory there as well. So we are striking out literally in wintertime just to try and finish off our issues here. And let's keep that momentum going. Those destroyers will quickly, I think, make their way to Ningbo, which is another victory point. They are at 42%, and we're building up our problems with them once again. There's a couple more victory provinces, like over here. Yeah, there's a couple like that are like on the way, so to speak. So we'll be grabbing some of these like pretty much immediately. But then the rest of them are in the interior. Yeah, okay. I really want to get over this spot here. Yeah, we're being counterattacked. How annoying. Yeah, it is delaying us a little bit. But not that much. Yeah, off we go. And we're just waiting for this naval invasion to kick in. Come on. You're taking your sweet ass time. So, bit of condemnation from the League of Nations. Whoop-de-doo. One of the most ineffectual organisations in history, the League of Nations. If you ever want to read up about ineffectual organisations, they're a good example of one. And a shame too. The idea had merit, because, of course, it's the basis of modern... the way that modern sort of countries talk to each other is, of course, the United Nations, and much of what the League of Nations did, the United Nations did. So, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Yeah, and this is definitely starting to look like good open terrain now. So we need to push out 4 provinces / 5. Okay. We can do that. We can handle that. Here we are. Right, so let's do that, because that'll take us to like Jinde, which I think is one of the major areas. And our infantry is really chugging along. It is slowly but surely making its way in the right direction. And I'm going to be calling it an episode in about, I think, 5 odd minutes. Oh, yeah, those are big. Yeah, we are making our way through the mountains. The communists are normally one of the most difficult parts of this game, because they often spawn those stupid guerrillas, and that can be a real nightmare to put up with. But taking an additional port, always welcome. And we're nearly at the 50% mark. Now, bearing in mind they haven't lost Nanking yet, which will have an impact on them. Good. This is... I just made the OK sign with my hand, and then I realised I'm talking to a mic in a room with no one else. So therefore, you know, me making an OK sign with my hand actually doesn't mean anything to the viewing audience. But, you know, minor problem, that. Minor. We're closing this distance. We are making our way over. And yeah, narrowing the gap, so to speak, isn't necessarily a bad idea. We'll do that. I don't know what unit it is. Yeah, it's you. Yeah, let's not have you go that way. Everyone form a lovely line. We love lines. Now, what I would say is, doesn't seem to be much else going on here, and the Brits are unhappy with us for bombing. Well, that is unfortunate. We are sorry. We did not mean to blow up British material / cars. In fact, one of the most important alliances of the early 20th century, at least from a historical standpoint, was the Anglo-Japanese alliance. And the main reason why it was important is it really signalled the shift in British doctrine, because of course Britain throughout pretty much the whole of the 19th century had practiced splendid isolation, which was sort of, really, we were sniffing our own farts. But it was quite a big thing for Britain to no longer be practicing that doctrine. And I think, if I am correct, I think it was the first sort of major peacetime military alliance that Britain had signed in maybe over 100 years. It was a pretty big deal, actually, in many respects. So, you ever get, the urge to read up about something, it is an interesting read. And communist guerrillas don't like that. Yeah, there's one up there, that's annoying. Can't see them anywhere else, mind you. Yeah, it does look like they're only in one spot. And speaking of which, I think it's time to take, the Mongolian cav forces and bring them down here, because they're going to act as a garrison group for our newly conquered territories soon enough. Yeah, and we are definitely holding units in place. And it doesn't look like they're in any rush to get out of the trap that we're setting. Flanks look relatively secure, and we are still pushing into communist China lands, although the two provinces that we need to get to are a fair distance away, sadly. Any more? Yes. One there that we can handle. How long? 15th till they get there, but they'll be attacking again in 60 odd hours. I think we're gonna allow that battle to defrost now, because the gap between them escaping is most definitely getting shorter now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we definitely got that many units left over. Good, good. Let's push up all across the front, I think, over here. Let's start applying pressure. And then when winter comes properly into December, we might need to hold off a little bit. The movement into Nanking is going as planned. And it does look like the coastline is going to be ours quite nicely. And then we've got the move into Shaanxi, which will be an interesting battle. I mean, they've never been this strong when I've played China before, so I'm intrigued to see if they're doing any better. I mean, at the moment, it looks like they're causing a negative impact on the nationalist Chinese. They're definitely not, well, doing the expected damage that I thought they would. But they are getting units out, which is frustrating. there's a battle going on here. I can see them falling back. I can see it happening at the moment. Like, I'm watching it. I'm watching it going on. I'm not happy. And I see those garrison units making their way out, trying to escape. No, no, no. Not happening, sir. You know what? The tank should probably lead that. And then... yeah, let's do an encirclement like that. Small one, but extra, every little unit helps. And we are slowly shutting them down over here as well. We've got a lot of units left. Like, normally when I do these campaigns, it feels like I never have enough units. But bearing in mind, this might be the longest stretch that we're going to see. Like, this isn't too bad. I've had issues before that have been a lot worse. Keep pushing. Keep that pressure going. Yeah, we're nearly in position to take out the communists. And then a whole heap of their better units will be lost at that point. And, oh, that's a pretty major grouping of units there. Ah, so you think you can escape, do you? Oh no. Unfortunately, it's not worked 100% how I wanted it to, but, you know, overall, this progress is great. It's perfect, really. I cannot ask for much more, and I think I'm going to call it an episode here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of the Japan campaign. Hopefully in the next, I reckon, another 3 episodes, and we'll have probably dealt with China. I'm pretty sure. Another 3 episodes, and the majority of their units will have been destroyed, I think. I think when we knock out the communists, that's going to be a major thing. So thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks again. Bye-bye.